Time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace, former Ottawa Senator Jason York, and Shawn Simpson.
A 177 days after they left the ice with a 3-1 victory over the Boston Bruins, Artem Zub with the last goal of the season, the Ottawa Senators will begin again. Season opener tonight, gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Brent Wallace, Jason York, and Shawn Simpson.
Feels like 177 shows we've been doing in a row, eh, Simmer? Like what's going on here?
4 days and that's it.
What up with the load management? It's early. You're going to burn us out.
Yeah, no, covering the Ottawa Senators is basically seasonal work. I mean, it's 6 months on, 6 months off, and we've been on for the last 6 months, and feels good that finally we're actually going to have a game day.
It's going to be later this year, by the way, and Yorkie, you can bring it up with the union. I don't know how well it's going to go over, but there's no show Monday, so it's an extra day off.
Yes, we give thanks. We give thanks Monday for
you can thank me.
Oh, we can. Oh, how you feeling today, by the way, Wally?
Well, listen,
hey?
You know what's funny you say that. There's only one way I knew how to celebrate the season opener. Jake, can you post the picture, please? That's the only way I knew how to celebrate.
Look at you. Is that your morning this morning? A little burnt toast and an egg? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta flush the system out. Last night, Simmer, we went out. We had a little powwow with our friends at the Nation Network who were in town, and my God, Wally, this body doesn't come by accident. Like the body's a temple. Wally just hammered a double burger and a poutine on the side. A poutine on the side. Like
I didn't sleep.
Nice. Well, you're always hungrier when someone else is paying. Hey, that's right. That's a rule for everybody. Hey, the appetite always changes just a little bit if somebody else is putting the card down.
Yeah, we missed you last night. I was hoping you could come out there.
Yeah, sorry about that. It was kind of late notice, but yeah, hopefully get together next time.
I had a salad, by the way. I had a salad.
So Yorkie, just so you know, I didn't have time to eat all day. So while you were having your nice Caesar salad, I had to have some sustenance. And here now is Yorkie enjoying his evening before we basically even got started.
Those are really good.
Meeting of the minds for Coming In Hot.
Did they flame kiss the What's it old fashioned?
It's old fashioned.
Yeah.
Good old fashioned is all about that. Good ice cream. This is where the big decisions get made. The brass is in town. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Good to see you.
Nice meeting you.
Wally, nice to see you out of the house for once.
So, by the way, Wally Vision nailed that.
Yeah, it was good. Good production. Good production. It was good to see you. See, like things. This could be the autumn of Wally, Simmer. Like he's making funny. Like he came up with the app line. Like I had him playing pickleball about a month ago. He's getting a little more social. Like I said, it's baby steps. You don't want to be too quick, but I've got hope for you, Wally.
I also, as far as innovation, I noticed a lot of other reporters now from the rink are taking video. Hey, that should be. Yeah, there's quite a few reporters now deciding that, hey, you know what, old Wally Vision there, I'm gonna have to get in there and pull a few scoops myself. So that's something that we should talk to Mr. Mendez about. That should be a copyrighted, a little trademark.
I don't think that's gonna fly, but we'll see.
Wally Vision is good. It's like a news reel. It just keeps going on a reel every single day. Gets little things here and there. It's just by the book, no nonsense business newsreel. I like it.
It's like CNN in the old days when they actually did
news. It's exactly what it is. It's a news network. Very, 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 very different from Yorkie Vids, but Yorkie Vids, it's exciting, it's fun, it's edgy.
We've had one Yorkie vid in about 19 months, so
well, listen, you need games. You need games. I'm not doing Yorkie Vids for exhibition games. Come on.
Fair enough. Okay, I enjoy. You know what? It is a piece of work. I will let you submit it when it's important enough for you to do it. You're an artist, so I get it.
I'm an artiste.
Okay, before we get to the game, one last thing I want to show you. It arrived today in my inbox. Last week, I forget which show it was. People were talking about where they were listening from, whatever. And Drew, if you remember, was on HMCS Shawinigan. This morning, I received this video.
Hey guys, Lieutenant Commander Drew Foran here, captain of HMCS Shawinigan. We've been deployed in Europe since July on NATO operations. And I just wanted to take this time to say thank you to the Coming In Hot team, Wally, Yorkie, and Simmer, for keeping me and all the other Senators fans overseas up to date and entertained all summer on all Sens news. And finally, go Sens go.
That's amazing.
Oh, it just made my day. Oh, so good. Good on Drew, and good luck to Drew there. And no, he's been listening for a while. He's just Drew's good people there, Simmer. Good guy.
Well, yeah, and very cool. The power of media nowadays, right? Your ability to reach that. And he didn't. I was trying to look in the background there and figure out where is he.
Yes,
probably at a secret location, but I was trying to figure out. But hey, no, that is absolutely an awesome video.
I did send a reply. I'm like, our show's at 9 a.m. Eastern, or wherever you might be, hoping he might respond. They didn't tell me they're in the middle of the Adriatic.
Yeah.
Oh, Jake, our producer, says they're in Ireland. Well, Jake,
where?
Jake, the investigative reporter, just told us they're in Ireland.
Nice.
Or they filmed it 2 months ago and are still at sea. Anyway,
is that pub crawling, or are they actually protecting something? I wasn't aware of anything going on in Ireland.
Yeah,
hey, pretty good spot to park the ship.
Thank you to all the brave men, women on the HMCS Shawinigan. Cheers to you.
Thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it.
We're everywhere.
Oh, we got eyes everywhere, Wally. It's amazing.
It's a worldwide phenomenon. Okay, here we go. Today's game. Brought to you by Square. If you run a restaurant, you're too busy for this ad. You're thinking about how to get more orders flowing and new locations opening. You need to get more customers and keep them coming back. So really, you're thinking about Square, because Square Restaurant Tech helps more than 400,000 restaurants do all those things and more. So when you're thinking about your restaurant, think bigger and think Square. Go to square.com/ca/en/campaign/big-in-RST to see why Square is big in restaurants. The whole full URL is on our show description. All right. Game day. The Senators will drop the puck against the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Before we get to any Bet365 decisions, how are you guys feeling about the game tonight?
I would say myself's not anxious, but I would say I get the feeling I just remember a lot of opening nights. There's some anxiety because this is game one, and it's like you've worked so hard all summer. You've trained. You've like, you look at the Senators, what they've done. There's nerves everywhere until it's a good nervous energy. It's a positive nervous energy. So I'm a little anxious for this group, because I'd like to see them get off to a good start. And everybody knows how paramount this start is. Like, we've beaten that horse to death about, you got to have a good start. You got to have a good. The guys know that. They know it has to be different. So I would say I'm cautiously optimistic about this group. Cautiously optimistic. I like what they've done, and I'm very, I'll say it for the thousandth time. I think Ullmark is going to be a big difference maker in calming this group down while at the same time playing hard, because that's an art form, Simmer. Yeah. The ability to play hard but still remain calm. That's what the great players do, and I think that's what Ullmark is going to help this team do. Just get in that zone where you're working, but you're still calm.
Yeah, and I also think with Florida guys, not that it's like a mega letdown, but you've come off of winning the Stanley Cup in Game 7. You had your home opener. You've been giving out the rings. Now you've come on the road, and you're in Ottawa. I think the momentum is with the Sens, and I think anxious and nervous, or whatever you want to phrase it, guys. But hey, this is, I don't want to say there for the taking, but I would certainly favor the Ottawa Senators tonight, just because I think from Florida perspective, it's kind of like, okay, here we are, Thursday night, second game of the year. We're up in Ottawa. You've got the Tkachuk back-to-back, which you talk about beating a dead horse. We've gone over that so many times. But I just think that Ottawa, for many, many reasons, has themselves in a great spot to get off to a great start.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you guys want to see from the Ottawa Senators this evening?
Well, I want to see early saves, number one. I want to see a goaltender just letting the team know that if you guys make a mistake early on, because let's like mistakes are part of hockey. That's what your goaltender is for. He's got to bail you out. So I want to see the goaltender. That's number one, first and foremost. I want to see some big saves early, and I want to see a team with a different identity that's much tougher to play against. Why Cousins was brought in, why Perron was brought in. I want to see a defense that defends better. Why Jensen was brought in, why Big Cleven's now on that blue line. I just want to see a group that, because you don't get your identity overnight, but I want to see them have an identity, because last year they didn't have one. Have an identity of being a team that is tough to play against, and that's pretty well it. That's just have an identity early, guys, and just aspire to have something where teams know when you're playing Ottawa, it's going to be a tough night.
Yeah, and I think outside of the first line guys, there hasn't been a lot of reps, or so. Hey, building chemistry 5-on-5, that's something I look for, and Ottawa hasn't had for a long time. I look at that lineup, and it makes a lot of sense. In the 3 phases of the game, I think the penalty killing, based on the goaltender, based on the D pairings, and just based on overall, I think is going to be excellent. 5-on-5, that's going to take some reps. That's going to be something. I think my biggest curiosity, guys, going into the game actually is the power play. I love the talent on the power play. I'm just not sold necessarily on the way it's aligned. So that's something I'm looking for. And I think from the fans' perspective, as you said, hey, big saves from the goaltender, and then just start to work the chemistry a little bit. And on paper, I certainly like it. Everything seems to fit properly. I think the fourth line will finally have an identity. And as far as the pairings on the back end, I like that as well.
Okay, so Simmer, you've brought up the power play before, and I'm curious. In hockey talk, they zip the pill around pretty good. I'm just curious if you, even though you don't like the setup, they were actually pretty good in the preseason, albeit not full rosters, but they put up some numbers.
Yeah, they did, but honestly, I'm and again on Norris, wanting to see him be healthy, Wally, but I'm also curious on the one-timer, and I hate to nitpick. But when I watch him in practice, he's not reaching for the roof like he did in the 35-goal season. So it's just something to watch. I'm not sold on Stützle as a left shot on that left half wall. The bumper play has become very popular. God, I saw it last night watching the Toronto-Montreal game. It's a copycat league. I'm just not sure. But it's also not it could work just based on the talent. I'm just kind of wondering how it will all end up fitting. That's all. And in the preseason, I don't think we saw many games, if one game, where they were all actually together. So that's the other part. And forget about practice and forget about the PK having no sticks and other things. That's just something that's going to take some reps. The part I loved in the preseason, Yorkie, was actually the penalty kill. It just felt like positionally and defensively and goaltender wise, it felt like, man, that could be a real strength for the hockey team this year.
It's amazing. It's amazing what a good goalie does for the PK.
Yeah, and just watching Zub and Jensen, just watching some of the defensemen, Sanderson being the obvious as well, is just that, hey, you've got guys that really have a feel for and a real awareness where they are defensively, which is something that we haven't seen out of Ottawa in the past.
Well, let's I don't want to pick at an old scab here, but come on, when you're rolling,
but keep going.
When you're rolling out on your PK last year, Eric Brandstrom and Jacob Bernard-Docker, who's not dressed, you're not going to have success. It's like the other team is looking at that PK unit like a piece of steak. They're just, really? That's what you guys are putting out? It's come on.
Well done, steak.
And you're trying to create the 2-on-1s, and you have to have size. I mean, that is the one thing on a penalty kill. And I gave Brandstrom a lot of credit for becoming a pretty good defensive defenseman. But if I'm creating odd man situations down low, there's just a certain amount of vulnerability that he has, along with JBD, where when you look at that group, it makes a lot more sense. And I just was so impressed watching them in the preseason.
Yeah, you just got to think of it this way: when it works both ways. Yeah. There was a reason. I remember when I was in Boston and they wanted to have Chera on the point, because he was making $7.5 million. But when Chera was on the point, his stick is about 12 feet long. So when he got the puck, he was putting the puck so close to the other team's penalty killer. Vice versa, when you're the guy killing, your stick, when you're that big, is taking away so much time and space. So if you're a 5'7", 5'8" defenseman that uses a little tiny stick, your circumference it's not good. That's pretty well why teams are going long, tall defensemen to eliminate time and space. And that's why Cleven is just got a chance if he turns into something to be something the Ottawa Senators really need. It's like a space circumference eater. It's just, you need guys like that. And that's like, just, I'm trademarking that word, by the way. But I used to laugh. Because Chara wanted to be on the power play so bad, and great player. But it's like, that long stick of yours actually is a deterrent when you're now on the power play guy, because the penalty killer is that much closer to just whacking the puck away from you.
I'm anxious to see. I'm just curious of how Nick Cousins will play facing the team he just won a cup with. Anxious to get going in his new team. And he did say he's glad to get it out of the way. I'm just curious if he will be buzzing around, if it'll take a sec, or if you'll find out if there was maybe someone on the team that didn't appreciate his play. And so, and then the Shabbat Jensen pairing, I'm just anxious. I just want to see Thomas Shabbat play well, and for the comments maybe to calm down, to watch him play with a real defenseman. That's what I'm anxious to see.
Yeah. I'll be also curious to see what his minutes are like, guys. And it looks like, or it's obvious that he's not going to be on the first power play. If you said a couple of years ago that at that money and that play that he wouldn't be on the first unit, hey, that second unit is going to get 45 seconds, 30 seconds. What is he going to be like at even strength, and what are the minutes going to look like for him? And I do think that's one of the big keys, Wally, and hopefully some chemistry between he and Jensen. But a Thomas Shabbat that at even strength, that can generate some offense, that can play properly, don't have any crazy minutes out there. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more of a well-rounded player. And again, easy guy to cheer for. It has not been easy for him. Hasn't had great partners. His minutes have been crazy. So yeah, that's a big focus for me watching tonight.
I like that second unit, because I believe it's Pinto, Giroux, Perron, Ridley, Gregg, and Perron, and Shabbat. So because of the Giroux element on that, he's a first power play guy. Like I don't think Travis Green is going to hesitate if the first group's not feeling it to start the second group now. Like he's got some options, right? Where other teams, take Edmonton, for example, like that first unit is playing 1 minute and 55 seconds every single time. Everybody wonders why there's no secondary scoring in Edmonton. Well, you play one unit, 2 minutes of every power play. Like it's pretty easy. It's very tough to score in the NHL at even strength. Like you just, except I don't know, you look.
Edmonton might be able to use 2 power play units after getting pumped last night 6-0 by the Winnipeg Jets.
Crazy. Eh?
Yeah. Well, we saw. There's a lot of high scoring games. But I feel, and we saw that even in the Florida-Boston game was 6-4, if I'm not mistaken, and our good friend Jonas Corpusalo allowing 6 goals. However, it was against Florida. They're a pretty good hockey team. So I'm curious, can Ottawa contain the Florida Panthers tonight offensively? Before you even tell me a score, just curious if they can contain a group. And the other part of that question is Florida's already played, so they've already got a little. They're feeling it a little bit, and Ottawa's coming out with the opening night jitters, with the anxiety, with all the attention on them at home. Does it play into it?
Yeah. By the way, I took Florida in that game, fellas. I think.
No, I didn't ask you. That was not the question. I said before we get to
just reminding you. I think they got a lot of energy from that first game. Like they were excited. Got the rings. You could go two ways. You could be too lackluster. They obviously weren't. They came out flying in that game. Boston looked slow. And obviously, again, like Corpusalo wasn't very good. And it just goes to show you the importance of goaltending. You gotta have saves. So for me, I think they're going to get saves. I think there'll be some nerves, but I do think Ullmark's going to allow them to settle in, and they'll be buzzing. Like there's going to be a good crowd tonight. There'll be some energy in the building. Guys are going to be hopped up. They all know they need a good start. I don't foresee Ottawa having a problem. I think this group is going to be energized. The veterans like Perron, and you got a guy like Amadio coming in that's been there, done that, and Giroux. They're going to help settle this group down. I think they'll be ready to play, and I'm predicting a good start.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I think every sport's different, guys. And I think in the National Football League, the preseason is nothing. and it tends to kind of favor the defense. Where in the National Hockey League, with the way the preseason is taken by most teams, it feels like offensively they've got a jump on everybody else. They're not quite and I don't put a whole lot, Wally, into the start for Florida because Korpisalo just wasn't very good. And offensively, I respect what they have. I mean, they've got a good group, but we're not talking about Draisaitl and McDavid and a bunch of other players. If you had even decent goaltending the other night, they would have been in a lot better shape. So I expect Ottawa to be good. Boy, oh boy, the energy in the crowd, in the building, just in the offseason. And the simple fact of Ullmark having a new contract, he's got to be coming in there feeling great. So I think there's lots to prove, but I think there's lots of excitement. But certainly early on, I know we're only a couple nights into the season, but it feels like the offensive game is much ahead of the defensive game.
Well, you were down there this morning, weren't you?
Not this morning. They skated at 10:30.
Yesterday morning. Anything special planned? Like any special guys coming out to the ice? Like some kind of what do you got? What are you hearing? Those
are all top secret.
Top secret.
Yeah, nothing gets out. That's locked down in there now. Nothing gets out. As they know, they always bring out every player and introduce the players. So I don't know of anything else planned. Maybe Spartacat does something. Who knows?
The old bring back the old senator there, the guy dressed in the Senators come out and announce the team from the ice.
Did you, when you played Yorkie? I'm not a big fan of it, and I guess because it gets old. But did you like the singular player introductions? Like, was it something you got excited about, or was it more like, come on, let's just get this out of the way?
I hated it. I hated when you got to skate out by yourself onto the ice and everyone's looking at you. It's just you. It's almost like doing, what's that?
Someone on the Sens recently, like within I'll say 5 years, I feel like it was Artem Zub or Artem Anisimov, tripped on the cable, I think.
Oh wow!
It was Anisimov, I think. That's who.
Nothing like a Vladimir Putin, though, right? So that
not the runs into the red carpet.
You got to avoid the carpet. You got to avoid everything else. But
when you're celebrating like 16 goals in the game, you don't always pay attention to what you're doing.
It's just so long. Like when you're introducing whatever 23 players, even the guys that aren't playing, they coming up on the bench and the coaching staff and the trainers. It's like, my God, like let's go here. Everybody, just look at the paper. You can see everybody on there, but it's like this is so and so. Okay, let's go.
Anton Forsberg was the one that took the tumble.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yorkie, as we get into our Bet365, I need you to take care of your daily business.
My daily business is BEI Bonisher Excavating Incorporated. Big thanks. They've been with us since day one. They're great if you want to get that driveway paved, to get some nice curb appeal going. Aggregate and topsoil sales as well. They can help you out with that. And equipment rentals. You can reach them at 613-432-1120 or at bonisherexcavating.com. And BEI is always helping to shape the Ottawa Valley. Please slow down in those construction zones, especially early in the morning. Lots of kids on the street.
And of course, this show proudly presented by Bet365, proud partner of Coming in Hot. Open an account with Bet365 today. Bet on a huge range of markets. So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Use code DAILY365. Must be 19 years of age or older. Please play responsibly. Download the app today. So we get into your picks. So we will have a chart, a counter, if you will, as we've had in the past, of who makes the right call for every Sens game. So we will get that up, and I got to get it made and approved. We're going to call it the Coming in Hot Cup. We'll see who wins it by the end of the year. Yorkie, you already blabbed who you were picking, so you have to start first.
I'm 1-0. I'm going to go. Yeah, we took the Boston Florida.
No. This is just
doesn't count. Doesn't count.
No, that's like preseason. It never happened.
Okay. I'm going to take Ottawa tonight. Like I said, I think they're going to be ready to go out of the gates. They've got a goaltender in Mr. Ullmark, who is fresh off that contract we were all talking about yesterday. So I think they're going to be ready to go. Opening up at home, they'll start on time. And Travis Green, I think, has done a nice job, along with his coaching staff, of getting this group prepared. At a good training camp. I think that it's just going to flow nicely into the regular season, where they've done the work, they've prepared. I can't see this group not getting off to a good start. The only thing that could get in the way is a hot goaltender. but I think they get it done tonight, fellas.
Yeah, and I'll go with the same. I don't even know. Will we see Bob tonight? Is Spencer Knight the backup goaltender?
So they sent down Chris Drigger yesterday and did call up Spencer Knight. So he is the backup for tonight's game.
Yeah. Curiosity there, and just there's too much. And as far as nerves, I wouldn't even say it that way, guys. From an Ottawa perspective, I think it's just excitement. I mean, if you're in that locker room and you see all the moves and you see everything that's happened off the ice, you see LeBreton Flats. If as a hockey player and as an athlete, if you're not excited just to play tonight, and I just feel like Florida, they had the big night the other night, they had the rings, they had the banner. I don't want to say vulnerable, but you've got them in a pretty good spot here. This is an absolute great opportunity, little carpe diem. So I'm taking the Ottawa Senators. I don't even know what the line is, but I'm taking the Sens to win for sure.
Okay. I did forget. I had a couple of notes to mention. I'll just use them myself as how I make this pick. So first of all, Linus Ullmark's career against the Florida Panthers. Jake, I think you have a board. He's won 7 straight games against the Panthers. He's 12-3-1 lifetime. He has got the most wins against the Florida Panthers than any opponent. Now, he has played 16 games, which is the same he's played against New Jersey and the Islanders. So it's a career high, but his 12 wins is a career high against any opponent. So there is that to chew on. Now, on the flip side of things, Ottawa has lost 5 straight games to the Florida Panthers. They have won 1 of the last 10 meetings against the Florida Panthers, and they've been shut out the last 2 games and 3 of the last 4.
So you're taking Florida. You're going Florida, Wally.
I need to, you know what? I need to make a separation early from you two clowns. So I'm taking the Florida Panthers.
Just raining on the Sens opening night. salty, Wally.
That is some serious salt right there. Okay? The fan base is just wanting some love. After you pulled up that Ullmark chart too, for sure, I thought you were going to go with the Ottawa Senators. I mean,
lifting you up just to go, hey? No,
they might they might shut Wally Vision down at the rink after that pick.
Mendez will be meeting him at the door. Yeah. Hey, that's not the kind of coverage we're looking for. Hey?
There is an interesting parlay. It's called a bet boost at Bet365. The money lines on Ottawa: Brady Tkachuk to score a goal and Tim Stützle to record a point at plus 500.
Oh, I'd take that bet.
Oh wow,
that's not bad.
Yeah.
So, Ottawa win, Tkachuk to score, the Brady one,
plus
Tim Stützle 1 point.
Ooh.
So, something to consider. Now, we're going to do, as always, everybody's favorite town crier, Shawn Simpson, and the Simmer Survey.
Hear ye, hear ye.
And Yorkie and I will be on Spark Street before the game, and we'll be actually saying this on the speech or whatever. Who will score the Sens' first goal of the season? So just having a little fun. I mean, these are some obvious picks between Tkachuk, Stützle, Batherson, or other. As strange as it is putting this together, guys, I keep thinking about Cousins, and I think about Perron. I think about some new players. At the end of the day, I'm going to go for a little bath time. I'm going to go with number 3, Drake Batherson. What do you think, Yorkie?
I'm going to go off the board. I'm going to go other, and I'm going to go delve down onto the app line. And I'm going to go with Michael Amadio getting the first goal for the Ottawa Senators off the newly formed app line.
Yeah. What do you think, Wally?
Wow. So it's a great, lots of options. I will go other, but I feel like it's like a Jake Sanderson type. So I will do Sandy. Now, whoever it is, it will be different from last year. Do you guys remember who scored the opening goal last season against the Carolina Hurricanes?
Can't say I do. Can't recall.
I do not. I have no idea.
One Matthew Joseph.
Oh, okay. So that's not going to happen again.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's going to definitely be a new person. And in Ottawa, the home opener, the first goal was scored by Jacob Chikrin. So again, it will be somebody new.
Yeah,
So
and also just the form of the goal. Is it power play? Is it penalty kill? Is it even strength? That's one thing, guys, I'm really looking forward to is that, again, they've got all the talent, and it'll work itself out as far as the power play. And I really, really like their penalty kill, but I just want to see a team at even strength that's able to control the play, able to do some things, and feel like they're able to, especially in second periods, guys, take control of some hockey games. That's really what I'm looking for from this group, and I don't feel any reason why, based on what I see on paper, that shouldn't end up happening.
Quickly, by the way, Drew has commented there more salt on Wally than there is on our ship.
Like who reigns on the parade of a home opener similar? Hey? Like, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose.
Like, seriously,
you gotta have somebody.
Like, sometimes you have to just give kind of a layup on some of these questions. Not sound like a cheerleader, but my oh my. Hey, well, I think Wally will be sitting with Walt Tkachuk, and he'll be in his Panthers jersey cheering them on.
I'm just saying, not everybody's. You gotta have a little bit of difference in the show.
Diversity.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Quickly, just back to Drew for a sec. Although I didn't get his response, if I could read this on the air or not. My crew got a kick out of it. To answer your question, we were an island because now we are on our way home from our mission, which was with NATO mine countermeasures group for several months. That said, there were some pub nights in Dublin. Have a good season and keep up the great work, Drew. So he was in Ireland for all of those people who picked it out correctly.
Yeah, I'd say the boys had a few Guinnesses their last night before getting back on that ship.
Okay, so lastly, I forgot to put this in the show yesterday. So yesterday, Linus Ullmark commented that about 5 minutes in to being in Ottawa, somebody came up to him randomly on the street, and we found out who it is, which shouldn't surprise anybody. It's our good friend and friend of the show, Addie, if you all remember. So Addie said, today he was recognized 5 minutes into his first day here during a coffee run. Funny story, that was actually me. I worked at the Apple store at Rideau and was grabbing a drink at Starbucks before work and heard it. And I'd heard his name while we were both waiting for our coffee, and my head shot up in disbelief. I was so nervous, but he couldn't have been more gracious. He joked that the photo may not look good because he landed 40 minutes ago. Despite having just landed, he was extremely tired. He was a class act. I can't wait to see what he does in Ottawa. So Addie is the guy that accosted Linus Ullmark, and he's the one now that made Linus feel comfortable in Ottawa. So we owe everything to Addie.
Yeah, most positive man in the city of Ottawa, Addie. Positive Addie. Like, I've never met a guy that's just, the sun's always shining in Addie's world.
If it can't be me, it's got to be Addie.
Yeah, and also embracing it. And Yorkie, I know you played there, and I lived in Rhode Island for a number of years. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the profile of athletes in New England, it's about Patriots, it's about Red Sox, and not that the Bruins and the Celtics aren't popular, but it's nothing like playing in Canada, at least my estimation of, hey, I'm assuming if Ullmark walked around Boston, I don't know if he's going to get noticed at all. So I think that's a really cool thing. You think so?
Yeah, Boston's a great hockey market.
Well, that Yorkie can answer, but I just live in there, Wally. I was always surprised it was all Patriots and all Red Sox, at least. Now the top players on the Bruins for sure, but I'm just saying, as far as some of the lesser likes, I never got that sense, Yorkie.
It's probably only when you're downtown around the rink and stuff where you get noticed. But I'll tell you this: when I was there, we weren't very good. And Boston's not a fun place to play when you're not very good. Like, you think it gets negative here? Amplify that by times 10. Like, the radio shows, oh my God, it gets nasty. And like, it's a great sports town. But no, we lived out in the outskirts in Reading, Massachusetts. It's an awesome place to live. Like, with all the sports teams, great schools. Weather's decent, but no, you're right though, Simmer. It's not the same as the Patriots, but since the Bruins have won that cup, it's I would say it's a lot different than when I was there, because when we were there, we were just booed all the time. We're so bad.
I can just picture you now walking in the North End. You're a bum, Yorkie. You're a bum.
Why is this guy on the team? He's old and slow and he sucks. Why did they sign this guy? But
I also remember when Chara first went there, how hard they expected him to fight every game. They were just like all over him. It was unbelievable. They're like, "Come on, what are you been doing?" It was just the mentality, no appreciation whatsoever for the rest of his skill set.
But in saying that, we got treated extremely well around the rink. Like we had our spots we'd go to. You get treated like gold if you're an athlete in that town. Yeah. But the sports radio is a different thing. When you lose, man, there are no punches pulled. Like it's a walk in the park here compared to there.
All right. I'm off to the morning skate. I'll have stuff later for Wally Vision on our Twitter handle. Gentlemen, enjoy tonight. We'll see Simmer you tomorrow. Yorkie's got too much. He's got too much going on. He's a man of the people.
There's another show going tomorrow. What the?
Yes.
The people demand it.
You only get 3 sick days, by the way, this year. So this will be one.
We finally have a game, and to me that is the excitement, guys. I'm legitimately excited to tune in tonight and watch them, and there is anticipation, and I watch it almost for somebody in the background of, hey, just excited for the fans, and you want something positive come out of it, and all the momentum's there. There's no excuses, and I think it's going to be a hell of a game tonight, and excited to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, I just want the refs to go, everybody gets a misconduct. I just want to see that again.
I like the refs on opening night. They have them mic'd. Did you see the guy in the hey boys, good luck to the season. Have a good one tonight. Like, when did that start happening?
That's the international, right? That's from the Spengler Cup, and then from the international, the World Championships. They've allowed.
And it was Crosby and Bedard last year, right? Wasn't that the big one? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's all come from the Spengler and from the World Championships. They do so much more stuff with the ref cam, with allowing you to hear during video reviews. I love when they do that stuff.
Well, even the gentleman in white on with the camera, I think, started in Europe, Wally, as well, right? And the other part that I do appreciate tonight, we're finally past the Tkachuk story. And not that I don't like it. I love the brothers. I love the dad. I love the family. But it's just kind of nice to go into games now where I think their first game, didn't they take the opening face-off against each other?
Yes. One of the games.
Yeah. And now it's just like, okay, hey, let's get down to business here. And Brady's a new dad. He's going to have a monster game, and that'll be fun to watch them go head to head.
Yep. Okay. Should be a good one.
I might pick the Sens halfway through, just to let you know.
No, you're done. You're locked in. You're locked in, Wally. Can't change now.
So good. All right, gentlemen. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yep.
Cheers, Otto. Enjoy the game.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.